Hey everybody, welcome to INFT 124. My name is Steve Pelton, and I'm going to be your instructor this term. So for many of you, this is the first term you've ever been in college. This may be the very first college class you've ever taken. And you're wondering, why am I taking a computing skills course? I want to be an elementary school teacher, or I want to be a medical assistant, or I want to be a social worker. Well, you're going to find very quickly that a class like this is a great foundation on which to build everything else you're going to be doing here at Bryan Stratton College. All the things we're going to be talking about are going to apply one way or another to pretty much every other class that you're going to be taking here. And so many of the skills that you're going to learn here are directly applicable to a whole variety of different fields, different career fields. It doesn't really matter what you're going into. One way or another, you need good computing skills. So what are the kinds of things that we're going to be covering in a class like this? Well, we'll start with things like hardware and software and the differences between them. That's one of the things we're going to be covering this week, in fact. But we'll talk about operating systems, what they are and what they do. We'll talk about the Microsoft Office suite of products. So that's things like Microsoft Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneDrive. We'll go in depth with many of those. We'll talk about browsers, what they are, which different kinds are out there, and which one works best for you. We'll talk about the internet and the web and how they're both different things. I know, doesn't seem like they're different, right? We use those terms kind of interchangeably, but how both of them need each other in order to function. And along the way, we're going to have a lot of very interesting conversations in discussion. They're all going to have something to do with computer technology. It might be social media here, or emerging technology and automation over here, or maybe we'll have opportunities to talk about things like virtual reality or artificial intelligence, something like that. There's always something interesting each week. I'm going to keep you on your toes. I'm going to challenge you, but guess what? You actually can have some fun while learning. So you can have some fun along the way. So a couple things I want you just to keep in mind as we start this term. You definitely want to go into the Welcome Start Here tab. That's where you're going to find all of my contact information, and boy, is that important. If anything ever comes up, you need to reach out to me, okay? So if you're struggling and you're thinking, oh man, I don't know if I can do this, and maybe I'll just quit, or don't. Reach out to me. I only know if something's going on, though. I only know if you're struggling if you let me know, okay? You've got to reach out to me, but I'm very reachable, okay? I will check my messages, my email, phone messages, everything, 7 days a week, okay? And yes, you can call me on the weekends, and I will call you back. Let me know if there's anything that I can do for you. But under that Welcome Start Here tab, that's where you're going to find my contact information. That's where you're going to find the tracking calendar and the supplemental syllabus, among some other things as well. Some files, some documents that are absolutely essential for doing well in a course like this. In fact, I would suggest you take something like the tracking calendar and even print it off if you have a printer, and just start marking things off as we go through them throughout the term. Just makes it a lot easier to organize things. A couple other things to keep in mind. You know how to contact me, right? But make sure your contact information is updated, okay? I do have access to a phone number if you have one listed. And so sometimes I will give you a call just to see how things are going. But we need to make sure that it's actually, you've got a mailbox that's set up, and that the phone number that we have is actually the right phone number. So make sure you're kind of on top of those things. You also want to make sure you try to get started as early as you can in a week, so that you have enough time to get all of your work done, okay? So pacing and organizing, time management and organization are absolutely central to a class like this. Frankly, any college class, but especially in the online world, because you don't have someone like me looking over your shoulder. You don't have someone like me you're going to see 2 or 3 times a week. It's really on you to stay organized, to manage your time well. And many of you have kids at home, or you're working, you may have 2 jobs, you may have obligations outside of school and work. So you've got a lot of things. You're juggling a lot of things at the same time, right? And so it's absolutely incumbent on you to make sure that you are managing your time well, that you're organizing your weeks well. And if you have questions about that, or you're worried about that, again, reach out to me. I can help you out. I can give you some tips and tricks. I don't want to say much more right now. I just want you to start looking through Blackboard. I want you to look through this first week 1 folder, start getting some of that work done. But of course, if anything comes up, folks, anything at all, you know where to reach me. Thanks.